Thanks very much. Here we are. We have got a nice new dev interview. This week we are joined by the wonderful Thorben, who is our senior gameplay programmer here at ROCKFISH Games. Thanks for joining us, Thorben. It's great to have you with us. I need to kick off with the question that everybody will have on their lips is, what is a senior gameplay programmer and what does that job entail?
Well, hello Garry, hello community. Thanks for having me. The job of a gameplay programmer contains, of course, depending on the company probably, but in our case at ROCKFISH, it's quite a big variety of things you have to do or you can do. Because we're a small team, everybody got a lot of hats, and there are things like, how the ship moves, how it shoots, how you move from A to B, like transitions, like how destruction is done, the missions is a big part of it, saving stuff. That's like too many things to to count. And my part was like at the beginning when I started, I took like small things, like the very famous shadow creature as a very small example, and I tried to squeeze my way here, like find some small activities that can be done around in the game. The invisible container, for example, was one very early thing I did. And that lead to bigger events like the racing, the wanted system. But at some point, we had like a personal shift in the team, and then I moved myself, and I mean it was totally voluntarily, honestly, no irony. To the narrative side of things. I mean, I'm still programming a lot, but today I would see myself more of the mission designer, but with I'm still implementing all the stuff. Like in the past, we had guys that were designing the missions and designing the story behind the mission, writing the dialogue and all that stuff, but somebody had to implement them. That was like a mixture of us gameplay programmers who supported our mission designers, and today it's like pretty much, we have like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 people now that do both. With like, leaning more a little bit on the dialogue writing end and more a little bit on the implementing end. I mean, there was one point in time where I even wrote dialogues because I had like fun with it, and
cool.
Like filling a gap here. And today I'm still doing that mostly, but of course as things moved on with the last DLC we had with Titans. Like I did a big part of the Dreadnought, and I was not alone, of course, and like another, let's call it small team, did most of the things in Leviathan, but it's I guess due to our team size, a lot of the things, like we trade opinions. We talk to each other. We test the missions of the others. We feedback each other. So it's a big interchanging process here with a lot of iterations, a lot of see what's what.
Cool. I mean, it seems like a lot of people, because of the size of the team, we do have to wear many hats. Even on the community side, whether you're interacting with the players on a day-to-day basis, doing the streams, doing the support, that kind of work. So obviously you guys in Hamburg, who I think are the absolute wizards of what you can create in the game environment. We all do so many different aspects of the job that's there. So we can now pin down who is responsible for the frustrating shadow creature missions then, and that.
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, but here, let's take this very small example for things like like, okay, I implemented the mechanic, but there was like a design before that even, somebody had the idea, then somebody implemented it. Of course, we talked about this and we iterated it, and then another person, like, builds the puzzle in the levels, like, that's so. Even that this very, very small feature of all the features we have is like done with, several people already.
Yeah.
And of course, what I did forget to mention is the game design aspect of things, again, we have like, if you look at our portraits at our ROCKFISH team's games, there's like not really like, we have of course people who have like the job description and game designer or lead game designer. I think it's HC, I don't know, I'm not sure yet. But we have like not the whole department called game design and 5 people working there also. So it's all of us. So, pretty much everybody in the team, and it. I mean, we got your feedback, we asked you of your opinion, and you're not the first one, so that's of course a big process in the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just to echo that I think that's one good thing about the team is that everybody kind of has a voice, whether it's feedback from the players, which I throw over to you guys quite regularly, or if it's my own personal opinion on things, and people will listen. And if there's value in those discussions or changes, then we're quite amenable to those things happening. Obviously, we've touched on all the aspects of your role, and it is very multifaceted. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your background and how you actually became a gameplay programmer?
Yeah, sure. I come like from province, small town, but at the very southwestern border of Germany, and I'm only saying this because like I grew up in a field, in a family which like viewed at gaming and at this whole thing like as that's not a real thing, you shouldn't get a job in that field. It's like get something serious, do something for real, whatever. And I mean, I had this kind of mindset then as well. I adapted this. Of course, I started very early with gaming. Like that's why this idea even came up as a little child. Like my grandfather was responsible for this. He like brought very early like discs and whatnot to our very old desktop computers. He brought into the family.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was always like, fun for the kids and nothing more. So when I grew older and I had like a bunch of ideas what I might become, I mean, I think a lot of people don't know it, after school, they're like, okay, I don't know, maybe that, and change it later. And I always had this idea to maybe, this could be a cool thing. And I made like a compromise with myself to say, okay, let's go for programming because this won't ever bore me, like computers won't ever bore me. And this is very pragmatic to say, like, this earns money, like the internet won't die tomorrow, computers won't die tomorrow. It's not a bubble, obviously, like we learned that a couple of decades ago. So but if it still works, it might be some kind of backdoor, because games need programmers. So that was kind of my idea, which I had in the back. So I started it, and in the middle of my studies, there was like a mandatory internship you had to take in the company of your choosing, and then I said, well, why not use this time of 6 months and look for an internship in a gaming company, because nothing to lose here.
No, definitely not.
And in Germany, it's like the industry is, I mean, it's of course it's kind of not small, but it's very small. If I was not too interested in doing mobile games, so I looked for titles. First of all, I looked for titles I know, and when you have titles you do know and they have to be in Germany, then it was like hard to find something. And Hamburg is one of the not too many cities in Germany that have like more than one studio at all. There's like, you can 5, 6, 7 towns or cities in Germany that host more than one developer, like big developers, developers you would know. And there was another problem. I mean, I don't know how it is today, but back then it was like it was really hard to get into the industry. Like the internship requirements were like, you know, 3 years background of working, at least one finished project, and you were like, I thought this is like an internship. But I got lucky, and the company I worked for hired like the bar was not that high for this company especially, and they did cool games, so it was a perfect match. And then I took the opportunity, moved 1,000 kilometers to the north, and kind of stayed. I mean, after the internship, I finished my graduation. My brother convinced me to like try it in a regular field first, but after six months trying, I decided to no. I realized, you know, this 6 months showed me, okay, this is it. I like it here. That's my jam. I want to stay. So and I mean, and thanks to this internship, it was easy to get back to it. I could like call completely, you know, simple via Skype. I didn't have to like do the whole process again of writing my CV and stuff. I just could call people I knew then, and then I was like, yeah, you know, I'm working here and I'm doing fine, but do you have like, you know, an open job for me? And again, I got kind of lucky because another programmer at the time, another lead programmer even, was about to leave, and they looked for somebody, and then was like, yeah, well, I mean, I said like, no, I can't do lead because, you know, that's my first job here. But then they had me convinced. They were like, you know, we trust you. That was one thing. And then they said like, okay, you know, it's our responsibility. We have a lookout for you. We see how it goes. But you know, if you're ready to come to us, then let's try it. And then I did, and I worked there for 4 years, a little more than 4 years. Actually, but a whole other genre. This was a point-and-click adventure, The Pillars of the Earth. Maybe some people know the book. The game hasn't got too popular out there. And back there was like, this is the company used an engine. It was not created by them, but it is not used on a wide, you know, in a wide field, and it is only used for, it's like a one-purpose engine. It's only for point-and-click adventures. So I was like a lot of Lua coding back then with a little bit of Python. And when the project was finished, it was like an in-between time where the company looked, okay, where we can put our, you know, human resources. And this project is about to start. Here is a pitch, and there's another pitch, but pretty much everything was Unreal Engine. So I mean, a lot of these projects didn't see daylight, but it was, of course, it was like an advantage for me to have like this almost 1 year experience working with Unreal, and that helped me getting to ROCKFISH then eventually, because I moved with another colleague to ROCKFISH at that time, and he was first and showed me where he is about to go, and I just looked at the jobs and saw, hey, they're looking for someone like me. Let's try that.
Cool.
Yeah, here I am 5 years later. 6 years later now.
6 years. Wow, congratulations. I mean, obviously you've already touched on kind of what you did in your kind of early career. You were talking about Pillars of the Earth and other games, but is there anything outside of those that you worked on?
Yeah, there was like another project. I think it's kind of official now. The Devil's Man back then, it was another point-and-click adventure, but that never saw daylight. And this was a really, really tough one. It had a lot of ups and downs. It was like, you know, announced, it started, then the market happened, the budget happened, then a lot of people had to leave. I was lucky. I was the lucky one who didn't. Then like other projects came around. For me, it was the Pillars of the Earth, and then at some point the idea was to revive the project again, and it even had like a small community. It even had an art book.
Oh
and
wow.
like merch. It was like, this was about to happen, and everybody thought this was about to happen. And then when it started the second time, then it was like, same again. Market happened, budget happened, things happened, and then it was like, okay, now this is not going to happen probably anymore, or at least I don't know if or when. But yeah, that's obviously a frustrating experience. I mean, these days, I guess a lot of developers in the industry are experience similar things.
Yes, definitely. I think we've seen it over the last couple of years how kind of volatile the industry is, and in a way, I think we're very lucky how kind of stable we are here at ROCKFISH.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's testament to the team overall how they're diligently navigating the video game industry. Looking at what you've kind of done in your role here at ROCKFISH, obviously everything kind of every role has a challenge, or it has rewarding parts. What would you say has been for you anyway the most challenging thing that you've had to deal with, and conversely what element has been the most rewarding?
Yeah, I mean, in general, I guess in general answer that doesn't has nothing to do with the job, I think, and that would be to say to make everybody happy. I mean, that's like so general. I get it, but when I hear that question, it's really my first answer, because in my day-to-day job, it's I have. On some days it's very complex stuff. Some days it's easy. Work it through. And like in most cases, especially in the complex cases, it's like I sit in front of it and I try to come up with an idea. I don't know if it's game design related, is it programming related, or if it's whatever related, and to come up with the idea, to pitch it to others, to discuss it with others. And of course, a lot of people in our team have a lot of strong opinions and valuable opinions, of course. And I would never say like I have, the best ideas. But yeah, pitching your ideas and we're not talking big ones. It's not always big system. It's small features, everyday stuff. Pitching them to others and then get feedback back. And now, no, maybe you should try this and whatnot. And I don't know. And then at some point, you get the result you're hoping for. So this kind of struggle, especially in the narrative department, there is like everything coming together, similar to the level design. There's the author, there's the creative director, there's me, there's another mission designer. So a lot of different departments and a lot of different perspectives on one issue, and to find a way, like, here's the vision, here's the story, and here's the implementation of things, and to get this into one. So that's like the biggest struggle any time, from big to small. And then like more of a direct thinking to my job description, it's similar, like having the problem in front of me and then thinking about something that lasts long, that creates as less bugs as possible, as few bugs as possible. That's a big thing. And of course that's flexible. Like game development, one thing about it is, and I can only assume because I only worked so short in another field, but it's very volatile. Like you have an idea, you implement it, of course maybe you discuss it with others before, but at some point it goes out to the world, and the world means our team first, and then you get a lot of ideas and then realize, or whatever happens, okay, this is bad, I have to rethink everything. That's like the worst case. And another like default case would be, okay, this is not bad yet, but it needs A, B, and C, and then you have to have like a system that is able to provide A, B, and C, or you have to, start from scratch again. So, and of course, everything has to be done fast. I can say it's not like, Michael is not breathing our necks like you have to get this done or anything.
Yeah.
But we have deadlines, of course. There's releases and we have our own goals and say like, okay, this has to be done until then. So I cannot like sit around and think all day about the best solution. So I have to go for the best that comes up, not first, but second or third.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd like to delve a little bit personally in terms of your gaming, because you obviously mentioned earlier that you've been a gamer since you were young. I think as we all have. So what games do you currently play now, and what games have you played in the past, and how do you think you've kind of changed in your playing style over that time?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like this could be, go on for hours, and not really not to brag. It's just when you start early, but yeah, I think everybody who listens or we all know how this goes, and we all have this pile on I mean, mostly Steam, but on any platform, I don't know. So yeah, today what I changed, and it's kind of maybe a part of I don't know, A, getting old, or B, try to live a more healthy lifestyle. Something about that, I don't know. So I changed from a lot of competitive stuff to more like single player, laid back stuff. I mean, I still I love a good challenge with Elden Ring, but that's kind of the exception because back in the day I like League of Legends was maybe the longest of them all, but Counter-Strike was also the Call of Duty. I even tried Fortnite, just for the gist of it and see what's that about. And I don't know, StarCraft 2 or pretty much every Blizzard game. I mean, they made great games, so but yeah, of course, also any Nintendo stuff and all. So and the last game I played is Crosscode, which is like a small indie title. I had like I don't know for how many years now on my PC, and sometimes maybe the feeling that the urge to have, okay, I have this big pile, it needs to get smaller, and then you pick like one game out. And I honestly thought this would take a few hours because I just knew about the game, that this was like a small indie title, and then it turns out to a full-fledged 60 hours plus JRPG. So that's that. And before that I played like Animal Well, I played Helldivers 2, but I don't see that as an competitive game. That's still like for co-op. But also I like Zelda, not the latest installment. I want to play that. I think this might be the next title I'm going to. But I'm talking Tears of Kingdom, and of course before that Breath of the Wild and stuff.
I know, definitely talking to some of the team members. I think it was during our recent ROCKFISH day at the offices. Zelda games, Nintendo games do come up quite a lot, and I think it's a lot of it's down to the game design as well. Although I've never played a Zelda game, I have to admit, But
I mean, the at least for me, I mean, of course, it's always like a personal opinion, but when you game as a child, like every world you encounter, every level, every feature is new. Every game you put in your hands is like totally exciting. And with over time you have seen stuff, and you just I have seen this kind of game, and the last installment, like Breath of the Wild, the open world setup, all of a sudden I was very skeptical about that because okay, I don't know, is Nintendo able to do this, to pull this off? And they did, and it's quite honestly for me like a 10 of 10 game. Cool. This was like the first time in I don't know what 10 years or so, which got me excited. Like have this feeling again that you have as a kid. So that's like a big inspiration and a big I'm glad they did what they did when they decided to be like brave and try something else, and and not copy another, open world game that is already existing out there. So that was refreshing.
Yeah. I mean, that's high praise. I mean, a lot of people do speak highly of that, and giving it a 10 out of 10. You can tell they've done some good work on that. Now, final question, I promise, but I know this one is a difficult one to answer because there's an absolute plethora of games out there that we've even just touched on ourselves. If you had to pick one game, and I know this is difficult, you might have two, which game would you like to have worked on, and is there any particular reason why?
Yeah, I probably would pick World of Warcraft. Okay. That's that's mostly nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I stopped playing years ago, and I mean, I sucked every news I could get about this game when it was about to release. I don't know, joined several communities, fan sites, and whatnot to get anything, and then when it pre-release, I don't know, 2 weeks pre-beta or pre-whatever they called it back then, to before the actual release, I started playing every day, and then when it released, I started the same class and everything from new because I had so much fun. I was sure, coming from, I don't know, Baldur's Gate and other RPGs I knew back then, I know myself, and when I play one class for about a period of time, then I get bored and try something else. And this was just so good. I had to okay, this makes so much fun. I do all the stuff again. And this was this world they created. This was a fascination never reached again. Let's say that. I mean, a lot of developers tried. And this kind of magic. So when I had the chance back then, I mean, today I honestly would not to be too interested, but back then this would be probably an awesome experience to see how this all comes together, all these different aspects, and of course the servers and the multiplayer aspect of it. That's what I imagine is very exciting.
Cool. I mean, obviously it seems like you've been a big Nintendo fan. Would that be something kind of you'd like to look at, how they kind of work, for example, as a company studio?
Yeah, absolutely. That's I mean, if I had to pick another one, that would probably be maybe any Nintendo title. I mean, of course, Breath of the Wild would be exciting, but again, with World of Warcraft, what was it back in the day? How did they work then? And how do they work today? I mean, there's only so many documentaries out there, and behind the scenes stuff, and at the end, a documentary or whatever is still something different to work actually there and live there day to day. So this is kind of still for me not directly a black box, but in a kind of way, how the processes are, how the hierarchies work, how which or who does what, who decides what. That just would be out of curiosity.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think even though I've worked in many different industries, every company is different. So I can imagine even in the game development world, that would be very similar thing that would happen. Just before we end, is there anything you'd like to say to our players, the community, the viewers of this, from your point of view?
Yeah, thanks. Foremost, that's the biggest thing, because all I said, I mean, it's maybe it comes between the lines that I'm very grateful to be here at ROCKFISH and in the industry, and it wouldn't be possible without our community. So that's the greatest thing. And another is seeing not the world as a big thing, but the gaming industry and the communities out there from other games, other developers. I think we can call ourselves quite lucky, have a lot of very nice people, engaged people. So yeah, that's the fuel we love to keep on working. So
absolutely, yeah, we do, and we do this. Mention this. We have a passion for this, and without you boys and girls out there buying our games and interacting with us, we wouldn't be able to do it. And it's sounds very cliche, but it's very, very true. We do love what we do, and we'll keep on doing that as long as you love what we produce. So anyway, thank you, Thorben, for joining us for this interview. Myself and obviously everybody's watching, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day and your busy schedule, because you're so multifaceted and having to do so many things, just to have a little chat with us and let us peek behind the curtain of game development, as we have with some of the other developers. We're going to do more of these in the future. We've got some more lined up. Yes, not everybody in the team has run away and said, no, not doing that. We've got some more lined up, and hopefully we'll have some of those in the near future. But with that, I'll say thank you to Thorben, and I'll hand you back over to myself. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.